guys, welcome to this week's video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lauren Conklin and I am a financial coach. So this week we're going to be talking about self-worth, why you need to make it a discipline for your business. So what is self-worth? Well, it's being able to feel good about yourself and without needing anyone else to validate those feelings. And believe it or not, 85% of people struggle with self-worth. Luckily, there are ways to improve your self-worth, and they don't mean that you have to be a selfish person or you don't have empathy for others, but it's a way to work on your own internal confidence and thus impact everyone and everything around you in a positive way. Not only does having a higher self-worth benefit everyone around you and create more happiness in your life, but it also prevents many things, such as mental health or physical health issues, like depression or anxiety, substance misuse or addiction, toxic relationships or just unhealthy relationships, missed opportunities, bad problem solving, and other things. But here on this channel, we care also about how it's impacting your business. So if you are not confident in yourself, you're not going to be getting yourself out there and showing your brand to the world. You're not going to be meeting your target client or customer or your ideal client or customer because you're going to be hiding. You're going to be isolating yourself because you don't have the confidence to get out there. And what's going to happen if you don't put yourself out there because you don't have the confidence or the self-worth? Well, it's going to be really hard to attract clients, and it's going to be really hard to have a flourishing business. So before I move on, I want to talk about all the self-words. There are so many self-words out there, and it gets a little confusing. There's self-love, self-care, self-compassion, self-acceptance. Did I already say self-love, self-esteem, self-worth? There are so many. I want to focus on the difference between self-esteem and self-worth. The concept of self-esteem was first established or first mentioned back in 1657. That's right, 1657, a long, long time ago. But self-esteem is based on what you get from the outside, based on a certain criteria. So for instance, if you are a competitive swimmer, let's say, and you win a bunch of swim meets, or you, complete the butterfly in under 2 minutes or whatever, then you will get self-esteem from that because you've reached a certain benchmark set by others, not internally. Self-worth is different. And the concept or the idea of self-worth didn't really come around till the mid-1960s. And what it is it that you have the belief in the value of yourself regardless of any external benchmarks or performance measures or accolades or accomplishments. So it's not based on what society tells you is success or what your boss tells you or your sports coach or your spouse or a family member tells you. It's based purely on what you feel on the inside is your value. Interestingly enough, though, they're related, self-worth and self-esteem, because you need to have a strong self-worth in order to be open to receive your self-esteem. Okay, so now we've talked about what self-worth is and how it's different from self-esteem. We've also talked about why it's important. But I want to get to why I'm saying it needs to be a business discipline. So let's first talk about what is a business discipline, okay? Because I know when I first hear the word discipline, I think of like a punishment or a school's disciplinarian code. But even though that originated from the same definition that we're going to discuss, okay? So the definition of business discipline, I'm going to quote here. Business disciplines are operational tasks that support a company's existence. Disciplines also can be thought of as functions or specialties, okay? So operational tasks or things or lessons that directly impact a company's existence and their success, ultimately. So some examples of business disciplines that are commonly accepted, widely known, would be like sales and marketing, communication, teamwork, goals and measuring progress, resilience and motivation, customer relationships, customer retention, business planning, financial planning and forecasting, bookkeeping. All of those things are widely accepted as disciplines in business. But if a business discipline refers to any practice or lesson that helps your business to grow or impacts your business's growth, well then absolutely self-worth better be one of them. And what are the benefits of having a strong or positive self-worth when it comes to your business? So many. All right, let's talk about some. So you can solve problems with confidence, right? Anyone out there, you think you have the solution, but you feel not super confident, and that's because your self-worth is not as strong as it needs to be. So that's solving problems, which in turn also is making decisions that you feel confident in, and you boldly make them, brave decisions. You have more honest or more beneficial relationships with both coworkers, employees, your clients, right? You can get to that deeper level because you have embraced your own self-worth. You're more realistic about your expectations because you recognize where your strengths are, and you will appropriately gauge your expectations or appropriately express what your capabilities are to clients and customers. And you'll be more resilient, right? One small little issue or thing that happens is not going to be this huge setback that completely derails you from your plan. Or you won't take one small thing that happened and turn it into all of a sudden some character flaw or some permanency about yourself, because you have a strong self-worth, you have a strong sense of self and self-worth, and ultimately that will make you more resilient. Okay, so now you're thinking, I get it, I know what it is, I know I need it, I know mine's not so great, so how can I improve my self-worth? You totally can, so no pressure, you absolutely can. And again, remember, you want to for your personal life, your mental health, your relationships, but also for your business health, okay? So what can you do? So first off, I'm a huge lover of affirmations. You can write down affirmations or I am statements, right? I am valuable. I am capable of completing tasks and making solid decisions. Whatever they are, your I am statements or your affirmations. You want to write them down, and you want to tell yourself, repeat them to yourself daily, okay? Because we've talked about this before, but our default setting in our brain is to focus on the negative, and that is not helping our self-worth. We want to look at all of the value that we have internally. Another way to improve, I'm going to say the second way to improve your self-worth, is to really receive compliments, okay? No more laughing it off with some self-deprecating joke, or just straight up criticizing yourself or making almost excuses for why you did something well. If someone gives you a compliment, you just say thank you and you own that compliment. For instance, if someone says to you, wow, you had an awesome quarter, you say thank you. It was really great. You don't say, oh yeah, well, last quarter was a little better, or yeah, but I think moving forward, I'm going to struggle with this. No. I think we do that because somewhere along the line growing up, we were told it was arrogant to accept compliments, that we should be modest. And if we accept a compliment, we're not being modest. But that is absolutely not true. People give compliments because they truly want you to feel good about something that you did. So accept it. Say thank you. Do it for them, if not only for yourself and your own self-worth. The third thing I'll say, and I kind of said this before, but I want you to look for the good in yourself, right? Our inner critic, remember mine? Do you remember my inner critic? Deb, we named it. That's right, because it's not you. It's this inner critic. And what I want you to do is I want you to push that inner critic to the side, silence that inner critic, and really look for the good in yourself, the good things about you, glass half full type of reasoning. And lastly, I suggest CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm certified as a cognitive behavioral therapy coach, and I think it is really helpful for clients to use CBT to not only recognize the beliefs that are keeping their self-worth so low, but also developing ways to rework those beliefs or ideas on how to change them moving forward. CBT also has shown by studies to make it easier for you to stick to those new self-worth ideas, those new self-worth beliefs. Okay, so that's it for today's video. We talked about what self-worth is, why it's crucial. We talked about the difference between self-esteem and self-worth. We talked about why self-worth needs to be a business discipline. We spoke about the benefits of self-worth. I keep saying self-worth, and how to improve our self-worth. What I'd love for you to do is not just take all this information in, but actually implement it in meaningful ways in your life. So I'm going to give you 2 homework assignments or action items, okay? Number 1, I want you to take a journal. It can be any journal that you already have or like a cool one with cool words on it. I love journals. If you haven't noticed from my videos, you probably have. I have a weird obsession with journals. I love going into TJ Maxx or Marshalls and just going straight for the journals. But anyways, so you're going to, in your journal, create a list of 5 affirmations or I am statements that are empowering, okay? And you're going to repeat those to yourself on a daily basis. That's it. That's your first homework assignment. That's easy, right? Number 2, I want you to, next time you receive a compliment, I want you to be really mindful and aware of how you react, what you say, what you feel. Do you, get hot all over your body? Some people sweat, some people stutter a little, or they look away, or they get uncomfortable. I want you to recognize that, because the first step is to recognize how you feel when you receive a compliment, and then your next step is to change that, to learn how to receive that compliment with grace, with just a thank you. Yay! Okay, this was such a fun video. Thank you guys so much for talking with me about self-worth. If you like the video, please click the like button below and make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you are alerted in your subscription feed anytime I drop new content. All right, I'll see you next week.